bitch, if I take a little bit of my life bill money tonight and put it on some dick, bitch, mind your business.
Show me what you working with. Pussy good, I had that dick squirting quick. Look me in my eyes, why you just murking it? Fuck me good, make sure you ain't hurting it. Bend me over, fuck me good, show me what you working with. Bend me over, fuck me good, show me what you working with. Bend me over, fuck me good, bend me over, fuck me good, bend me over, fuck me.
And Uncle Cliff will have a few rules for you. Rule number 88, at 40, make sure you check that prostate.
Fuck me good, show me what you working with. Bend me, 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 show me what you working with. Bend me, 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 show me what you working with. I'm the bitch that he like to fuck. I love it when he bend me up. Fuck me until I bust a nut. We doing all that freaky stuff. I put this pussy in his mouth. I let that nigga eat me out.
To turn to page 1 of your packet. Everybody like all smiles. They like, yes, I'm ready to fuck some dick. Oh my God. Yes. So, welcome to dick sucking school.
That dick make me scream and shout. He fucking me without a doubt. Fire. If a nigga say he never ate me, he a liar. He know this pussy good, he know this pussy got power. We fuck all over, we be all in the shower. I like it when that dick stand tall like a tower. Put this pussy on that nigga nose like a flower. We fuck all day, we be fucking for an hour. If you got that good pussy, let me hear you holler. Scream, bitch. Good pussy, 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 good pussy, 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 good pussy, pussy, good pussy, pussy, good pussy, good pussy, good pussy, 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 good pussy, pussy, good pussy, 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 good pussy, pussy, good pussy, good pussy, good pussy, 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 good pussy, good pussy, good pussy, 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 good pussy, 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 good pussy, pussy, good pussy, 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 good pussy, pussy, good pussy, good pussy, good pussy, 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 good pussy, good pussy, good
Okay, hey everybody, here I am at episode 9 of Pillow Talk with Sue, and I got the lovely lady here, the queen of Baton Rouge, the queen of adultness, of adult toys and sex wellness. I have the lovely Miss Sharonda Parker. Hey, how you doing, Miss Parker?
Hello.
Okay, you want to give a brief intro about yourself to the people who do not know you or never heard of you before?
Okay. My name is Sharonda Parker. I specialize in sexual health and wellness. I have been a part of the adult industry now for about 14 years. My ultimate goal is to close the orgasm gap, and I love to teach people about bringing excitement to their bedroom.
All right, well that's just the short and sweet thing about Miss Sharonda.
It's so many things that I do, but that is the short and sweet version of it.
Cause I'm probably gonna take like an hour of her time, but she has years worth of discussion over here. But we're gonna try to fit all that into 1 hour and 1 hour section.
I told you I'm an open book. Ask whatever you like.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So you are a sex wellness coach. And tell us, because before you got into that particular career, you started out in the school system career.
Correct. I was a school teacher.
So that was your initial life goal, right?
I'm degreed. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice and I have a master's in criminal investigation. So I always thought that I would work in the judicial system. For a while, I did work for child support enforcement as an enforcement officer. And it was okay, but we all know working for the state is not necessarily one of the fun jobs, and it doesn't pay well. I transitioned into the school system, which was a little more safer, because with support enforcement, I would have to actually go and serve my own clients for court. I would even have to arrest sometimes. So working in the school system was not as dangerous. So I transitioned and I became a math specialist for a GED program.
Okay. And so, and I want to backtrack. You said you actually had to arrest while you was like doing child support?
Oh yeah, when
you were certified.
When you're a support enforcement officer, you carry, you have your Miranda right card, you have a badge.
Okay, so I never knew that. Like maybe somebody else like me, but I never knew that. I thought y'all just dropped like the notice off or something like that, like almost like a what you call a chancery clerk or something.
Well, we had process service, but I was a part of the rural parishes. That means that EBR would have the sheriffs do their stuff, but the rural parishes, they didn't have a budget for the sheriff to do it, so we would have to go out and serve our people ourselves.
Got you. Okay. So you you started out as a child support enforcer, then you went to the school system as a math teacher for a GED program. So how did like the selling of toys come about?
Well, I needed to supplement my income, because when you start getting those checks and then your student loans become due, you have to figure out, okay, how am I going to get all of this done, And I was married at the time, but even with that, once I finished school, my then ex-husband, he was in school. Like he let me go first, and then once I became degreed, then he went to school to work on his trade. So it was a lot, it was a part of our plan, but at the same time, we thought that I would be making a lot more money.
Right.
And then once I got the master's, the state wasn't doing any raises at the time under that particular governor agenda. He wasn't doing any raises, so I couldn't even get a merit increase for having the master's degree.
And mind y'all, this is like 10 years ago. Like even still with the two incomes, that still wasn't enough to like get done with the student loans and have more like just to pay bills.
Yeah,
and stuff.
right.
And at this time, did y'all have y'all first child?
We had all three of them.
Oh, okay. So y'all had 3 kids as well. Okay.
I had Gabby. I had Gabby when I was 18. I had Taylor when I was 23, and I had Madison when I was 28.
Gotcha.
So I had all my kids.
So 3 kids plus you married, and then so now and both of y'all technically working on student loans and stuff. So all that, so you pretty much need the extra income.
Of course.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you started setting out the trunk of your car, correct?
That is correct. I was mobile. I was hosting parties, like going mobile to do parties at people's houses, and during the week I would be slinging toys out of my truck.
Okay, so you
all at the gas station pumping gas, selling
and this
toys.
was like the original parts, like the parties now don't kind of like upgrade like a whole nother level.
This was
like
the humble beginning.
Like when you were selling strictly toys at the party.
Yeah, this was humble beginning. Yes.
Okay, so and what year was that when you started selling the toys?
2008.
Okay, 2008 when you first started,
and I got
and
the
then
store
you got
in
the store
2012.
right 4 years later. So of course, okay. So you say like selling like adult toys in general was never like part of your plan, but like so you got the store 4 years later. Like did that ever come in your mind like beforehand? Like this is what I want to do. I want to move from selling my car to actually getting me a location, a physical location.
Once you get into the industry and you see the need and you see the money that can be made, you start to adjust. Like you start to say, you know what? I can always go back and teach if I want to teach. But right now, this is what a bag is. Like teaching, I won't ever make this type of money teaching.
Right.
Like sex is gonna sell. I don't care when cotton and corn don't sell, sex is gonna sell. All day.
Okay, and so the store came in 2012. So you and your husband were running that store.
I was, my then ex-husband was doing commercial air conditioning because he hadn't got his trade.
Okay.
And then I was running the store full time, 6 days a week, 11 in the morning to 9 at night, closed on Sundays. He would come in the evening and help once he got off from work, and then he would come and help on Saturdays. We would close on Sundays.
But a lot of people, like if you're not from the Baton Rouge area, a lot of people don't know that you actually had the after hour spot in your store as well. Like, was that always something that was there, or
After
that
I came in 2015.
Okay, after I came in 2015.
I had in 2012. I had the store. At this point in time, I'm managing entertainers, and then I decided to start up an after hours, and that came about in 2015.
Okay, and that lasted for what, like 2 or so years?
I'm gonna say 2018 it ended.
Cause I came in one, so y'all look, them girls were serious about their money.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, those days were great. We had a time. Those was some good times.
Like when I used to tell people, like a lot of people like never heard that before, like a sex toy store with like an actual like little
strip club,
right in the back.
First to do it,
right? Like you really were the first to do it, but you were the first to do a lot. But we gonna touch on those too.
I actually dreamed it. I dreamed the store with the parties and with the strippers in the back.
Okay, so it was like a God-given vision then.
I felt like it.
Okay.
Even when I told my then ex-husband, he thought I had lost my mind. He was like, "What? You want to do what?" And I was like, I told all the dancers, they was like, "You want to do what?" And I was like,
"Wait a minute." So you say you were managing dancers already, so they were like coming to you for like gigs before you had
people were coming to me looking for dancers, and I would book them.
Okay, so
and get them
like,
work.
Okay,
I was like the agent, the middle person.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Got you. Okay.
So when I let them know, look, I got another idea to get you some consistent money every weekend.
Right, and then just like have that one like
and they
location,
like
they were already coming. So.
And I remember the very first night that we opened the after hours, we did like 70 something armbands the very first night. Okay. And at that point, I made all of them believer. Like I made them a believer. They all felt like this ain't gonna work. But when they saw those 70 people come and show up and spend money
on the first night, this is not like, this is kind of like, okay, so you got the store 2012, that came 2015. Mm-hmm. This is probably like the beginning of the eras of like strippers, really. Like not the beginning, but it's like
Instagram
became right. It's like
Instagram
it became popular, like it wasn't like top down about like all the girls were doing it at one point.
Instagram made stripping desirable.
Right.
It just did.
That's the exact word. It made desirable.
It made everybody feel like they could get the money, get the bag, and that was during the time where the place in Houston, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name.
Was it V-Live?
V-Live was new and popular. And what we did was kind of similar because our entertainers didn't completely strip down nude. They really just danced and entertained, and they made a lot of money. And we started off just doing a Friday night party, and the money was coming in so good to the point where they were like, you know what? Can we do Friday and Saturday night?
Look,
so I was
double
like,
up the bag, so like the whole weekend thing.
Right.
And then I also remember, like I couldn't find it, but I remember like you had like, was part of like a petition, like trying to get like the alcohol served in the city. Cause like you had like an actual like, I can't remember what was, but you had like another spot at one point that you, I think it was short-lived. Okay, I think
it was very short-lived. It was Madison Square, 22,000 square feet.
22,000?
22,000 square feet. It was like a huge gymnasium with an upper level. Our plan was to transition the after hours to that location, but we could not get the licensing. We were around too many churches. We couldn't get really anything that we needed, and like you said, it was short-lived. At that point, I was like, let me get out of this lease while I can, because that lease was like, I want to say $7,000 a month for that particular building, but I wasn't worried about that because I knew I can make that back.
Right. Because then, like you said, 20,000 feet, 22,000 feet. Yeah, that's gonna be like a real club.
Oh yeah. Right. And my thing is, if the store was bringing in like $5,000 a weekend, I knew that building would bring in more.
Like, of course.
So,
and then you would have had more with it too, like more space and everything. So yes,
we couldn't get anything done. So we ended up terminating the lease, and during that time, a lot of laws changed, and we ended up dismantling the after hours altogether.
Right. Okay. And like we gonna get into it. I was just going to it now because like the store opened. Okay. All right. So the store opened up in 2012, and like for those of you who ever might have followed Sharonda Parker on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, the store officially just closed. Like officially closed for
last week
on June
30th. Right. June 30th.
So that was the last day. So that was a good run though for 2012 to what is it? 2023. That's over 10 years. Like 11 years in the game. Like you, and for just anybody who listen, like Sharonda still is in the game.
Oh, I'm still in the game.
She's still in the game. The building has closed down, but she is still very well in the adult sex toy industry right now. You are just transitioning from a physical location to a warehouse, right? Moving more to like the online focus.
Yep,
right?
online, and it allows me to be able to travel because I have been getting more out-of-state bookings, and I love the store, but when it came time to renew the lease, of course, a decision had to be made, and I had to look at what was going on in my life today.
Right.
And I was like, I want to commit to another 5 years in this location when I'm being booked literally all over the country at this point. I just filmed a project for a major network, and I have a lot of different transitions going on. My children are adults now.
Right.
I don't have little babies anymore, so my life has really changed so much, and I don't really need to hold on to this location. I can literally do online because I've had my online store for 7 years, and my online store does very well.
Like, I was just gonna get to that. So like, the online probably like is more beneficial now these days, right?
COVID changed everything with the way people shop, and online is basically where people are going to get what they want.
So like, did your numbers come in the store ever like come back to normal after COVID, or it never go okay? So people more in general feel more comfortable with shopping,
and I just think they learned during COVID it could be very convenient to shop online,
right? Or have somebody go pick it up for you,
or
like,
even do what I'm doing now, which is Toy Dash, which is actually you put your order in for your toys, and your order comes to you within 30 minutes to an hour to your front door.
And that's why I tell y'all, Miss Sharonda is the first to do a lot of things, because I never I know nobody has ever thought of I have never seen nobody do this, but y'all did hear her. She's like the first person to do a Toy Dash, which is just delivering sex toys to your front door in your hand. And like when people order sex toys in general, they like privacy anyway, so it kind of makes it better. Like now you ain't got to worry about your mailman seeing what
it's very discreet. It comes in a gift bag. It just looks like I'm dropping off you a gift. Seriously, it looks like I'm dropping you off a gift. I don't stay. I don't talk. I wave goodbye and keep it pushing, because you don't want people to be like, well, what's your, because right now I'm doing it.
Right.
Eventually I will transition to other drivers. We're looking to see if Uber or Lyft or someone would be willing to partner with us and actually allow us to, like they do the grocery delivery and all of the other places.
They deliver medicine and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're trying to see if we could get one of the delivery services to partner with us, being that we do sell adult toys. If not, I have had so many people to contact me to say that, hey, I'm willing to drive for you.
But finding hard worker these days,
right?
It's like so hard,
right?
But we hope you find, and then pushed on the show, you probably have at least one of your daughters too if they want to.
Well, my kids don't live here; they live in
okay.
So when they graduated high school, they went to school.
I know they went straight to school. So
yeah, and they decided to live out there.
Oh, okay.
So they don't live here.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And that's fine. But my thing is, somebody will do it. I ain't worried about it because it'll get done.
I make a little way. Everybody need the extra style. Like we just said about this, like 10 years ago, even a two-hole income was not enough. So everybody need a side hustle, especially these days. And so, okay, so we did not just talk about the Toy Dash and all that. And I also want to go back a little bit because like your parties, like they might have had humble beginnings, but Miss Sharonda was like the queen, and she still you still host adult parties, right? Like you still get booked for them, everything.
Everything. I'm constantly working.
But adult parties, because like you was the first person I've seen to ever take an adult party, actually make it a adult party, I should say, because like you had like games and stuff, and like
when I say raw and raunchy, it's raw and raunchy. That's about the only way I can describe it.
Like, cause it's like no phones allowed. Your
no
parties,
phones,
right?
Raw and uncut will go on there, stay there, supposed to be.
Right.
It's one of those things where you just have to be there to witness it.
Like you really like I looked on YouTube, because like Sharonda also has a YouTube page, and that's what Sharonda Parker, right?
Sharonda Parker.
So if y'all ever want to go look and see, it's like she has some little promo videos about her parties under Sharonda Parker on YouTube.
And that's the clean version.
Right, that's why I just forget. Like it don't show like the whole thing, because I went to one of your birthday parties, and oh my God, and like you don't discriminate either. Like just going to your birthday parties, like you have male dancers for the women, female dancers for the men, and maybe the women who you have everything. Like
whatever your desire is, I try to have.
You are the one-stop shop for it, and like that's why I admire about you, because like you adjust, like you adjust well. Like you don't let like the times are ever changing, and you change right along with them. You have to always
be in a position to be able to shift,
right?
Because the world is changing,
right?
The way that people see relationships are changing. What a family looks like is changing. Everything is literally changing, and if you're going to be in this industry, you got to keep up with what's going on around you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, even so, not even about the relationship, but you are, I guess you want to say a relationship guru on Facebook. And
Well,
that was like the
a
right
lot of
time
people,
for you.
look, and it's so funny because
Hey,
you know,
you're better than Steve Harvey, that's for sure.
well, the thing is, you know, after I announced my divorce, I was like, you know what, should I still or what, should I back up or whatever? But I had so many people that was like, look, you know, we've been following you a long time,
Right,
and we know you did your part, like
no doubt.
like, hey, answer our questions and help
Like,
us
I
out.
don't want to be messy about. Remember one post you would say.
What did I say?
Like it would come so true what you said. It was something about some woman, like I guess women in general, trying to tell you about you can't keep a relationship. And I'm saying like you said, you were like I've been married for 24 years.
Yeah,
y'all can't keep a relationship for 2 weeks. And I'm like that's so true.
That is
like,
so true. Yeah, I was married 24
like, people
years.
be delusional and just.
And my decision to, you know, say, okay, this is a wrap, this is it, that was my choice, you know. When something isn't serving you anymore, sometimes you have to make hard decisions,
Right.
you know. But the thing is, when I made the decision, I knew that I had done everything that I could possibly do. So I didn't make a decision and just say, oh, I'm doing this because I don't want to do this anymore. That was a decision made because I had literally done everything that I could possibly do. And at that point, you have to understand that you don't want the same things out of life anymore. And some of the things that he had, you know, was into, I wasn't into it, you know. And he just kind of felt like because I was into what I did as far as the sex industry, that I had to be accepting of some of the things that he was doing. I was like, yeah, I'm not. You accept me for who I am with the adult industry.
Right.
But it's just because you accept me for that, that doesn't mean that it's certain things that I have to accept that we both know are not right.
Right. So just to tap in, go ahead and moving forward to the next subject because okay, so for those who don't know, Miss Parker, Miss Sharonda, you were married for 24 years, correct? You got married.
Yesterday would have been 24 years, but it's 23 years.
Okay.
My wedding anniversary would have been yesterday. It would have been 24 years.
Like I saw what he said that like on because I follow I used to so I followed him on Instagram. That's where I saw it because I just seen that it was like 7-2, right? July 2nd would have been y'all 24th anniversary.
He announced that? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I mean, he's still there.
That's the only reason I know about.
Yeah, he still wears his ring. He's still there.
Cause so y'all got married when you were about 18, correct? Y'all was.
I met him when I was 17, and as soon as I turned 18, we got married.
Okay, so y'all wasn't like high school sweethearts or anything. Oh, you were.
He was my first everything. Like, I was married before I graduated high school.
Okay, so married at 18, and moving on. So it was over 20 years, and you just recently got divorced last year, correct? Okay, so that's over 24 years of marriage, and so I just want like you don't have to go into too much detail, but just tell us like a brief summary of like what your marriage was like especially like in the beginning, like.
Oh my God, I had the best marriage.
Cause I know a lot of people like with a like married young. I know a lot of people are down on there, and then all three of your kids are by the same man as well. Like, and that's all his kids he
married
had too.
to a man that was a wonderful husband, a wonderful father, a wonderful man. I cannot take any of that from him. COVID just did not do well for our family. COVID, when you're in close proximity and you're not able to leave and you're locked in the house and you're able to see everything, right? And you're able to see how people move. You're able to see more so how money is being spent. You're able to see all types of things that when you
pay attention, like
that you're able to pay attention. Exactly. And the thing is, with COVID, we wasn't supposed to be going nowhere. We wasn't supposed to be doing nothing. The type of money that was being spent was just not being accounted for. And COVID literally just blew everything up. And at that point, I found out that he had a substance abuse problem. And the thing is, I was like, you know what? Well, it could be worse. He could be doing this. He could be doing that. But the thing was, it changed him personality-wise. And the change would happen when he couldn't get what he was looking for.
Right.
And we're in the middle of COVID, and people not supposed to be coming to your house. You're not supposed to be going out. So the thing was,
and then everything was like limited. Like
everything was limited. So that means during COVID, he couldn't get to what he had been become accustomed to getting to. He became an animal. and he just became very hard to live with. And I had left and got an apartment. Well, I actually left and got a house. I never stayed one night in the house. He begged me not to move into the house. I was staying in the hotel for 2 weeks. I ended up coming back to my house and was like, okay, we're gonna try to work through this. He was sneaking and getting high. I ended up maybe 7-8 months later getting an apartment. I actually moved into the apartment. I stayed in the apartment like 3 months with the promises of I'm gonna stop.
Right.
You know, it's gonna get better. I moved back into my house, and then the very last situation was where he didn't know who I was. He became paranoid, and it was a really bad incident that happened, and he doesn't remember it. He doesn't remember the incident.
Oh, so he doesn't like nothing at all. He doesn't remember none of
Remember it.
Okay, so pretty much he became like a whole new person technically. It's like he wasn't even married to the same guy.
I was not married to the same person. I went to counseling, and even my counselor was like, you have to accept the fact that the husband that you knew is not the husband that you're married to right now. Like, in other words, you're still thinking he's a certain person, but that's not who he is today.
Right.
And that's just not who he is today.
And I think I can say like a lot of people, especially like us women, like we tend to hold on to that shit because we still like stuck on the person we once knew and not the person they are like right now at this very moment.
Right.
So like even like okay, so y'all ended up getting divorced, but like you actually took some steps to try to prevent it, right? Because like you just said, you went to counseling. So did y'all go together, or was it just like you made your mind to go, or?
Initially, we went together. In the very first session, he walked out. He never came back. I continued to go.
And then also, I think I seen you say you actually also got like a black counselor, right, too, as well.
I've only got a black male counselor, someone that probably
so he can relate to
and understand. Yeah. My thing is, I do this for a living with relationships.
Right.
So I knew what needed to be done. I basically the same thing that I preached to everybody else is what I was doing in my own marriage. But you come to a place where, you know, when someone does something so heinous, they don't remember it, they're not remorseful, they don't want to get any help, you have to kind of release them.
I mean, you have to just wipe your hands with it because
Right.
you did your part.
Right. And, you know, it broke up our family structure, but, you know, I'm not willing to put my life at risk.
Right. And then as far as your kids, I don't want to get too deep into their business. I want to include them in it, but like, did they like adjust well to it, or?
It's very hard. My children end up going to counseling. They've had their dad their
So
whole
your
life.
kids went to counseling too, right?
Of course.
Okay.
They were there when the incident happened. It was hard. My middle child, she ended up having to go to college that summer. Her dad wasn't there to help, and you know when you envision doing certain milestones in your life, you envision your parents gonna be there, especially when you've had your parents your whole life.
Right.
My parents
y'all the only two people that
right.
they not
My parents
dad,
gonna be there.
Y'all the only ones that know.
My parents gonna be there. They gonna support. They gonna make sure I'm together financially. Like not only was my home dismantled financially, everything was dismantled because his income left.
Right.
So that was you know, he made great money doing commercial air conditioning. Their whole income left. So things changed for us financially. Some of the things, our way of life that we were used to living, it changed. It just changed. On top of us coming back after COVID.
Right.
Meaning trying to keep the businesses up and going when people, they're not getting this relief money anymore, you know. So
PPP.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't have all of this coming in anymore. So things just really changed for myself and my kids. I became a single parent overnight.
Right.
All right.
Okay. What else should I say? Okay, so your kids are like 2 of them in college, right? And then like is the baby girl still like in like I guess high school or whatnot.
I have one daughter in grad school, one daughter in undergrad, and one daughter in high school.
Okay, and like so far as today, it's like their relationship, like they're working, like their relationship with their father still good,
they literally just within the last month started back working on their relationship with their dad. Like he just reached out within the last month to start working on the relationship with them because he knows that I've moved on, and the new person that I'm with actually moved my daughter back from college, and he wasn't too pleased that someone else did that for his child. So and he just decided, you know what, I need to step back up because they have a daddy. And I'm like, and they do have a daddy. I want you to always be their father.
So no holding back from that, like no taking away from that. So
no, I want you to always be the great dad that you've always been. Even though me and you didn't work out, I will never stop you from being a great dad because he indeed has always been a great dad.
Gotcha. So moving on from him, so to speak. So now you today, the rebranding of yourself and like just you in general, like how did you? Because a lot of women, like when they get divorced, well, I think a lot of people, but especially women, they don't handle it well. Of course, you took the steps and went to counseling, but like far as like just you, like say you're at the house by yourself and you just got to think about it, like how did you go about that? Like did you just have like a moment to yourself where you just like came to a full conclusion?
I took a day. I took one day to cry, to waddle, to be ugly, to
not the normal you. That's you're a strong woman.
I took one day to literally scry cream kick, and, you know, accept the fact that
feel all the emotions.
I took one day to feel it all, and that very next day I was like, you had your day. You're gonna be good to Sharonda. You're gonna treat Sharonda good. You're gonna get Sharonda back in her best health possible. You're gonna feed Sharonda the best foods. You're gonna meditate. You're gonna pray. You're gonna be good to Sharonda, and you're not gonna allow anybody to come into your life that's not gonna be good to Sharonda.
And look, I also would say a great woman also said this too. The same thing you just said. Beyonce said that herself. She'll like whenever she feels her emotions, she takes one day, like no longer, no less, one day to sit there and just feel bad for myself, and then I move on.
Because people say, don't you need time? I say, I took time. They was like, you did one day.
And then it's like, even though that one day is like maybe like that whole day to feel everything, but then like you still probably have like certain days, you know, you might like
So
it's not like you just one day and done.
Well,
it's
no,
like,
the thing is, I'm human.
Right.
You know, I would love the fact, I would love for my family to come together. I'm used to holidays with my family. I'm used to us being a support to our children. It's just certain things that I've been accustomed to, but that's not my reality anymore.
Right.
So I have to accept it, and I have to move forward. In other words, I don't have time to waddle in it.
Right. Because then like other stuff that you took aside from counseling, like I think I remember you saying that you actually changed your church home, like you found new friends, new hangout spots, and like you that's like erased anything that was connected to like
anything that was connected
and
to
started working on
myself and my marriage. I released it from my church home to friends and family. I literally said I need newness.
Right.
And these friends that I have, they have always been around, more like associates. I'll say that. A lot of them I have known for years, but I decided to get active. Excuse me, and I became a part of a walking group. And that walking group became more like family for me. And we would get together outside of exercise and literally go to events together and do stuff together. And anything that they wanted to do, I was always present. They knew that I was coming, I was going to show up.
Like if you said you were coming, you were there.
Those people literally became my safe haven. Like, I connected with other people in business that did similar things to me and networked. I had nothing but time on my hands. I'm networking. Like I said, everything new.
Right.
My life, literally, my daily routine changed. Everything changed,
like,
and I didn't look back.
So like even backtracking a little bit. So cause I know you said it's a lot of things that you do now that maybe like back then you weren't like, so to speak, allowed to do. Like is there any like specifics you could give?
Okay, so I'm gonna just say this. There were things that I've always desired to do, and I'm not gonna say allowed to do because my ex-husband was very open to a lot of things, but certain things he was very uncomfortable with. And he wanted us to present a certain image.
Okay,
I get that. We had kids. Our kids were small. of course, family, community, all of this kind of stuff. Well, it's more so his family because I don't have a lot of family. I'm an only child. Both my parents have died. Like, I don't have a lot of family.
Right, okay.
But he has a lot of family. So, you know, I'm going to use the naked bike ride for an example. This was an event that he and I were supposed to go to together. He went and bought bikes. He went and put the lights on them and
So he went all out for it.
Oh yeah, but
Like
in
the first plan of it.
and he knew I had them order my green thong. All I was gonna have on was a lime green thong. Our kids knew that we were going. I mean, that morning I woke up hyped to go to the naked bike ride, and he had a panic attack.
The day of?
The day of, we ended up having to admit him into the hospital.
So he had like an actual panic attack. Okay.
And
I mean, because of like what y'all about
I
to
just
do?
think that it was anxiety about it.
Okay.
Like him wanting to be supportive of the things that I wanted to do, but at the same time, not being 100% comfortable with the idea of it, but not wanting to disappoint me.
Right, so trying to support you.
Trying to support me, and because I'm a free spirit, you know. So he was trying to support me, but at the end of the day, he just, you know, I guess mentally it was just a lot to process. And we didn't go, and I never mentioned going again. After that happened, I never mentioned going again. I just took it as, oh well, you know, this is just something that we won't be able to do.
Right.
But once I got divorced, I didn't have anybody to take into consideration. So I went.
And then like the group you in, like I know the guy said he always does it, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of my friends, they're naturists, so they go to events with non-sexual nudity all the time.
Right.
So I went and had a great time.
Cause like I also went one year, but that was like before COVID, and I said I'm gonna try to go back again because I didn't participate when I went. I just went down there and watched it.
Okay.
But I always thought that was a fun idea.
It was very fun. We had a great time.
Look, it looks like it. And then I have a bike. I just the first time I guess my nerves got in my way.
Well, you know, and that's the thing because you know, you get out there and you realize that nobody really cares what you think.
Like really, like, they don't even know me. So
and the thing is, everybody's out there, and you get as nude as you're comfortable with.
Right.
You know, so nobody's paying attention to how you look and all that. Everybody's just literally out there just having a great time.
right. So like even okay. So besides like the adventurous side of you, like business wise, you gonna start like branching out to more too, right?
I have been doing a lot of work with other people. That was something new because when I was married, basically my husband was my ex-husband was my partner. So everything that I did it with him. I'm not gonna say that I wasn't allowed to network with other people, but he just didn't see the point in networking with other people. Now I have the opportunity to network with other people. I take advantage of that.
Right. Cause like even on like I keep backtracking because that stuff just keep popping up in my mind. But okay, so like even okay, so look, you're a sex wellness coach, and like everybody knows, especially maybe not so much as today's time, but like you coming up, like the whole sex talk thing was like taboo kind of.
It's still taboo.
But then I cannot remember exactly what it was, but you actually went and spoke at like a women's conference or something like that, right? Right.
I've spoken at several women's conferences. I've spoken at teen summits. We went and even spoke at the AVN in Vegas. I've been on panels, educating.
And it's all about like sex and
religion.
Like, okay.
Sex down south.
So pretty much, so you got to like get out here and like really just advocate for sexual wellness, and then like you also do like I want to say like little things. It's something like for men where you bring like awareness to their health or something like that.
All of the different issues that men face, Men's Health Month, prostate cancer awareness, like.
And see that what I'm saying. So like you branch out to like everything. Like when most people think about sex, they literally think about like the physical aspect of it. But
no, I
like
think of the health side.
Right,
of it.
like you actually.
I advocate for testing. I advocate for different newer drugs like PrEP that people can take to prevent this from getting HIV. I advocate for all of that.
Right. And then also like and then once again backtracking again, you were also like the first person I ever seen host like riding classes and like the oral class and squirt class. So like I said, you branch out to pretty much some of everything, whatever.
I was doing them in person. COVID made me record them and put them online. Now the classes are online. And now instead of you having to come physically and do them, you can download it from the privacy of your home, and you have access to the class at home.
And then for anybody who sees this, the place you can download all her videos will be
www.dppgstore.com.
So DPPG store, like that's literal PPG, the letters, the DPPGstore.com, and you can actually download all her classes.
Yep.
And then, like when we said she branches out, like she just did a special for a big network with a celebrity guest, so that will be out soon. You know, you hear about the details about that. And I pretty much, let's say anything else you want to tell. I think I pretty much got everything as far as like the basics of you. Like anything else you want us to know about you.
I mean, that's how you question.
Yes, that was pretty much it. Look, I just want to get like I said, we probably talk for hours at a time because you got enough lifetime experience. Like,
well, you know, I mean, I think at this point I'm just expanding. Meaning I have been married for 23 years.
Oh, hold on, let me stop you right there. I just thought about something about another first you did, because like you were the first person I ever seen come up with the idea of wife school, and I actually thought that was so neat, because like everybody, it's like we all need upgrades sometimes. Like even when you think you're doing a good job, sometimes you need like to step back. Okay, well, maybe there's something else I could be doing. So
I did. I created a wife school. I created a curriculum for it. Had people
so it was like an actual like you had
actual school. It's a 4-week program.
Do you have that online? Like maybe they can download that? Or
once I got divorced, I pulled all wife school content to download to buy. The content on YouTube is still there. So if you type in Sharonda Parker Wife School, you will have certain content that comes up. But I always tell women, you know, a lot of times people think you have to be married to be a wife. That's not true. You're a wife before you ever get married. The Bible tells us when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So that means that she was already a wife
before
when he found her, right?
Right.
So basically, a lot of us as black women, we've been to what's called a finishing school. Years ago, people used to send their daughters to finishing school. And finishing school basically taught you how to be a woman. Today, a lot of times our parents are busy, grandparents are busy, and we're really just growing up. Nobody's really teaching us, right?
Right.
So basically, when I created Wife School, it was really womanhood training. You know, teaching you how to be a feminine asset to where you can be an asset to whatever relationship you're in, whether you are girlfriend, fiance, or wife. You're going to be an asset to that relationship. You're going to always be a benefit. You're going to always multiply anything that's put in your hands. And I would teach different ways and strategies and basically get you to tap into your own gifts that you have.
Right. But I always thought like a lot of people like look at it like in a negative way, but I always thought it was something actually good.
Well, a lot of people look at things in a negative way,
especially when it's like something that's not like brand new, it's not common. Like,
look at why am I gonna pay you to teach me how to be a wife? Well, during this time I was married, but it was like, why am I gonna pay you to teach me how to be a wife? Anybody knows how to be a wife. And my thing is, if everybody knows how to be a wife, then they wouldn't have so many marital issues that they have if everybody knows how to be a wife. I'm not saying that my marriage was perfect.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I had an awesome marriage for over 20 years. We had a situation that I had to walk away from. But overall, like me and my ex-husband, we woke up every day with one agenda, and that was just to be good to each other. You know, we both put in the work.
A lot of people don't have that. Like,
and we both put in the work.
That's like the basics.
Even in my current relationship that I'm in right now, me and him, we wake up every day with one intention, and that is to be good to each other. And of course, he hates that my marriage didn't work out, but at the same time, he's very grateful that he found me.
Okay, it worked out for him.
It worked out for him. Like, he tell me all the time, like, I hate that it didn't work. I love to see families make it. He was like, right. I'm glad I found you. And any man that I ever decide to be with in life, I'm gonna always be an asset to him.
Right.
And this has nothing to do with sex.
That's the mindset as a woman you should have.
It has nothing to do with sex, but this has everything to do with just me being a woman.
Right. So, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you finish. Was there anything else you want to let us know or just say in the last words? Look, I always let y'all, like, whatever the last words I want to leave on people's minds, I always let y'all get the last word.
My whole purpose with PPG and sexual health and wellness, my ultimate goal is to close the orgasm gap. I feel like far too many women are being intimate and not experiencing pleasure. So my job is to teach them what pleasure looks like. And pleasure can be different from person to person. Whether you're interested in romance, whether you're interested in fun, whether you're interested in kink. You know, pleasure can look different from person to person. But my job is to help you tap into that and to make sure that you're actually having a great time in the bedroom and that you're not there just existing.
Right. Okay. But before we go, there is one thing I want to get past to you. I know you say you are into like reading now.
I do read.
So I got you 2 books you wanted to take a look at. I don't even know, have you ever had, do you have these books or not?
Let's see.
The author was interesting to me.
Okay. All About Love. Okay. Oh, so both of them by the same author. Okay. The Will to Change. Thank you so being masculine and in love. Okay.
And like I got that book for you guys. Know like if you want to just like hold them up to the camera.
Yes.
Okay, so I got that one for you.
I love to read. I am a sapiosexual. For those of y'all that don't know what a sapiosexual is, I am attracted to intelligence. Intelligence, when I meet, especially because I'm a heterosexual woman, I have to say that.
Right, like I know, like
they think I'm off into all kind of stuff. I'm traditional with a lot of stuff.
Like it might not seem that way.
Even though you see me in kink spaces, even though I am a part of a poly relationship, my relationship is called monopoly, meaning I operate monogamous in the relationship, even though my partner operates poly because he is in fact a swinger. So when we do go to events and parties, you know, we basically, I'm there for support.
Right.
Basically for support. And, you know, if he sees somebody that he's interested in, of course, we will meet them. And if I'm okay with the exchange, then they will go do what grown people do, you know. And that's, you know.
And so that's a whole nother topic for another. Like a lot of people, that poly subject, a lot of people just have no idea. Like
it works for me.
I think you know most people when they think of poly, they think it's just straight up free nasty. Like
no, not at all. Because
like, but it's not nowhere like I mean, some people do misuse it, but
well, I think some people do misuse it. But I think when you're dealing with somebody mature who understands that they
actually really about their life too.
Yeah, not only that, who understands that they enjoy variety. They're honest with themselves to say, look, I want to have a primary partner that I do life with. I want to have a primary woman that I take care of, that I love, that I cherish. However, once a month, I would like to go to these parties to be able to experience variety. It's going to be done safely. In other words, nothing is going to, I'm going to abide by the rules that we put in place. And of course, you're going to decide if I can move forward with anybody.
Right.
So a lot of times people don't think that you have a lot of control in those dynamics, but really, you really have a lot of control in those dynamics. And if something don't feel right to you, or for whatever reason you don't feel like it's a go, then you vocalize it and say, look, it's
right,
not a go for me. Right, it's not a go for me. But I read about a book a week. I do have a partner because, like I said, it is a polycule, and I have a partner, and all we do is read books.
So y'all read like together, or y'all just in terms of read
nope,
books?
He and I get a book every week. We decide on the book that we're going to read. He and I read the book. Now, this is not my romantic partner. This is just another partner that I have, and all we do is read. We decide what book we're going to read, and half the time we don't even see each other. It's all done via virtual or phone conversation. We order the books. Once the book gets in, we start reading the books, like normally 3 chapters at a time. We discuss 3 chapters at a time. Once we get to the end of the book, we do a big discussion about the book. If there's a movie that goes with the book, a lot of times we will watch the movie, distinguish the difference between the book and the movie, and then we on to the next book. And that is their purpose in my life, simply to read with me. So when I talk to my romantic partner, he understands this man is here in my life because he likes to read, and you don't have time to read because you're working and you're doing all the things that you enjoy doing. I enjoy reading. I'm not going to put that responsibility on you. I have somebody to read with.
Right. Actually, like now you put it like that, that actually sounds good.
And the thing
sounds
is,
interesting. All
of my relationships are non-sexual, meaning I have one romantic partner that I have a sexual relationship with that I do life with every day. But any other person that's in my dynamic, I do not have sex with them. But they are in my life because they do serve a purpose for something.
Look, if more people had that mindset, like, I think we'll all be better.
A lot of people, we've been raised to say, oh, I don't share. In other words, we take pride in selfishness when it comes down to relationships, even though we don't know exactly, we don't like selfishness in anything, right?
Right.
We teach children not to be selfish. This is another, but when it comes down to romantic relationships, we feel like love is a limited resource, and it's really not a limited resource.
Yeah, but we don't even have like most of us don't have the understanding to
You have to be very mature to walk these pilot streets. That's all I can say.
like for real.
You have to be
like
very
these
mature.
days, it's like,
and even with some of the ladies, because it's two ladies that he deals with, they're not here in Louisiana. They're out of state, but they come down maybe 3 or 4 times a week. On my way here to interview with you, I had just called her and was like, hey, I hadn't talked to you all week because I've been filming with the major network. I'm just, circling how everything been going up there, how y'all doing. In other words, what we practice is more, even though our personal dynamic is monopoly, meaning that I choose to have him as one romantic partner, and I don't take in nobody else as a romantic partner. He has other partners, some are out of state, some are here, but most times when he does the swinging there, it's just at the party.
right.
I have a great relationship with everybody that's in my life. And even the people that's in my life, he has a great relationship with the people that, in other words, when we decided to get together, we never said we got to remove people out of our life.
Right.
The only thing we did was say we're going to make room for each other in our lives. In other words, I'm not going to remove anybody that's in my life, but I'm going to make room for you in my life.
Yes.
And the same thing, you have your life, and the people that's in your life, make room for me in your life. And we don't have to get rid of anybody.
Right.
And that's the way we operate.
And that's why I say, like, everybody have that particular mindset. Everything could just flow. Like Lauryn Hill once said, it can all be so simple.
It can be
Like,
very
it really
simple.
can all be so
but we
simple.
have been taught some really bad behavior about selfishness, and we take pride in jealousy. We take pride in
toxicness. Like, that's like
in
the
other
thing
words, they would rather be fighting side chicks and all of this kind of stuff, rather than coming together like women and saying, okay, for whatever reason, we have an interest in the same man for whatever reason it may be. And this is the purpose that I serve with him. This is the purpose that you serve with him. And trust me, we all have completely different purposes.
Like, really.
We don't never have to be doing the same thing. I don't ever have to be worried about what the next person doing, because that ain't what I'm there for.
I mean, I feel say I hate trying to like just bring up negative stuff, but like even like within your group or whatnot, like this conversation hasn't come up a long time, but the whole side chick versus married chicks things, and be like
it's gonna always be a controversy with that.
I feel like it's always you're right. It's always gonna be something, but then like I think like what a lot of women, especially women, don't understand, like even if that is a side chick, she might not be messing with that man for the same reason that you are messing with that man.
Well, the thing is, both will exist. You're not gonna get rid of wives. You're not gonna get rid of side chicks.
Right.
The sooner we come to that understanding about relationships, and I'm not saying that all men cheat.
Right.
I'm not saying that men can't be monogamous. Right. What I'm saying is these two women will exist as long as the world turns. Get the story. They will exist. It's 4th of July, y'all. So
right. Okay. Look, that's why we not flinching. Y'all, that's just fireworks. So yeah.
That's how they do it down here in South Louisiana.
Look, okay. It's about that time too, huh? What's it?
Yep.
About 3rd? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, both will exist. I just choose to be a part of a dynamic to where I know everybody that is going to be a part of our life. In other words, I'm not talking about the flings that you meet at the parties. I'm not talking about them. But if these are going to be people that are going to be a permanent fixture in your life or in my life, we have to blend it. You have to know my people. I need to know your people.
I was like, then like the number one thing with that is like the communication part right there.
Oh, we have
you have
great
to be
communication.
open and honest
you
about
have
that.
to be open and honest, and you have to have great communication about everything. You can't assume nothing. Everything has to come to the table and be
Because then like a lot of people not truthful, so like they want to like to tell you half a truth and like keep. And I guess some people say it's not a lie, but it is a lie to make it like when you tell one part of the truth, but then like hold back the other part. I mean that's
not going to work.
Line.
And you see that a lot of monogamous relationships. That's not how poly relationships operate. We operate open and honestly.
Right. To be successful.
The store closed. Online only.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart.
Look, I guess everybody got to get used to that
Yep.
transition.
It's a new transition.
Right. Look, it takes some time, but they'll get there.
Yep. And this is normal. Everywhere I go, somebody gonna walk up, talk to me. You know, in my new relationship, he's having to get used to it. That everywhere we go, somebody knows me. I'm getting pulled to the side, so it's
So
whatever.
he got to get involved in the world of Miss Sharonda.
Yeah. And he's very low key, a professional man, very educated man. So it's definitely different for him, but he here for it. You know.
Okay, so I'm like, so one more thing.
Okay.
So just for like a thought. So even though you're newly divorced, but you're also newly in another relationship, like, can you ever see yourself getting married again, or that's just not something that's like your focus right now?
It's not off the table, but it's not something that I'm going into it and saying, I'm dating you and you
not
have a
actively
year
looking for it.
to decide if you're going to be with me and marry me. It's not like that. I'm really okay with building and being life partners with a person as long as you and I understand what we're doing. Like, I have a lot that I've worked for. I have a lot that I have to protect. This has not been an easy process with a divorce. It wasn't cut and dry where both people just signed. It was a lot of negotiating. It was a lot of back and forth. Like, it was a process,
Right.
you know? I don't think I ever want to go through that process ever again. So the idea of marriage, I just feel like if I marry somebody, it's going to be because we coming together and we about to make hell nervous. Like, there has to be some type of purpose in us coming together in a union like that, beyond us being life partners.
Gotcha.
So, like I said, this relationship is very new. It's only like, it's very new.
So that
This
way,
year.
I was thinking,
This
I
year.
figured it probably wasn't like on your plate right now, but just like later on down the line,
No.
could you see yourself?
Right now, we are just still learning each other, still enjoying each other. Even, you know, we take breaks. Like on Wednesdays, we are not in each other's presence. At least we're not. That was what we agreed upon. We're not supposed to be in each other's presence. He is an Omega, and on Wednesdays, that's their day that they barbecue and have Wicked Wednesday or whatever at the frat house.
Okay.
So he uses that day to decompress from work, hang out with his frat brothers. In other words, on Wednesday, you can do whatever you want to do. Me and you will communicate via talk, text, and then you go about your day. I follow up with you that evening, see how your day was, and then I will see you on Thursday.
Gotcha.
That's the way it's supposed to be. I keep saying the way it's supposed to be because lately he was like, you know, it's just been weird. Sometimes I find myself, you know, still seeing him on a Wednesday.
I'd say when y'all
And it's
switch
not
up
a
days sometimes.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because we look forward to seeing each other. But Wednesday is normally the day that I link up with my friends and I do the things that I want to do, or whatever it is, you know, on my agenda for me. It happens on a Wednesday because Wednesday is his day.
Right.
And again, when we link up on Thursday, I can tell you everything that I did on a Wednesday, you know. But keep in mind, I've been with someone since I was 17 years
Right.
old.
That was saying that's another
23
thing too.
years. Like, I enjoy my
That's
space.
to one person for a long time.
I enjoy my space. Even though I go and stay by my man's house often, I still take that time and come to my own house and have to woosah, you know, because I need that time to myself. And the thing is, I let him know. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to my house or whatever. And, you know, and he'll never say that he needs time to himself. But the thing is, I need time to myself. And I know he needs it too, you know, because keep in mind, this is new.
Right.
And both of us, we don't want to suffocate each other, you know, being in each other's space and just taking over each other's life, you know. Like I said, we're making room for each other in our lives. I'm not coming in to just take over your life.
You know, then like a lot of couples, that's like kind of be like one of the downfalls. Like it's just too much suffocation. Like you in my face 24/7, and I'm in your face 24/7, and it's just like there's no breaks or nothing. Like no me time. Like even
When
though
you
you're
are
together,
married,
you still have to keep your identity, I believe.
you're right. And when you're married, a lot of times you don't ever get that option to have that me time. A lot of times when you're married, you know, you're constantly in a position to where you are, especially when you're a wife, you're constantly serving your husband. Not saying that they're not serving you, they're serving you in a different type of way though. So for me, to take on that title as wife and be married again,
It's not that I'm opposed to it, but I understand the work that comes along with it.
Right.
And I love the space that I have right now. And another thing is, if I was to get married, then we would have to negotiate, because I like that we can spend time apart and we can come together when we like. Not too many men gonna want their wife to stay in their own house and they stay in their house, but that's something that I'm willing to negotiate.
So,
like, can we stay separate? Can we?
Like a lot of these marriages, because they coming up like it's traditional, but it's not traditional. Because now you have people who are married, but they got two separate houses, and like we just said, when they need their me time, one person go to this house, one person stay at this house.
And it's nothing to be offended about, but a lot of people will be offended if a person says, "I need some time."
Right.
I just need quiet. Without feeling the obligation to do anything for anybody. Right. So that's why we have that Wednesday in place, because at that point you don't have the obligation to do anything for anybody, and neither do I.
Right. And I feel like that kind of makes it better too. That's just my personal opinion. Right?
When I say it to people, they be like, "What?"
Maybe some people enjoy the clinginess, but
they be like, "What?" And the thing is, when we together, we clingy.
Right.
Oh, we are clingy. We literally touching everybody. Like, we literally wrapped up in each other's legs. Like, before I came here to meet with you, I was at his house and we was in the bed. I had unpacking and putting things together in the warehouse and all of this. And then I went to his house and ended up getting in the bed with him, and we legs locked up and all tangled up in each other. And I'm like, "Look, you gotta go to work. I gotta go do an interview." So it's not uncommon for us to literally, when we're in each other's presence, to just love upon each other. But we still understand that we need our time too. We need our space.
Right. And I will say, just as a bonus though, I like how you have this happiness when you speak about him too.
I am very happy at this point in my life.
Like, it's not forced. It seems like you feel like you're genuinely happy talking about
I am genuinely happy. He's an awesome man, and I thank God that I keep running into awesome men.
Okay, because you have your little relationship with him. You see the stories there, and I'm
very serious.
I don't run into these type of men.
And listen, and I don't put on airs. Like, if you ain't no good, I will say it, but my ex-husband was an awesome man.
Right.
He just had
that one situation, but overall,
he's an awesome
the good
man.
outweighs the bad, though.
Of course, but he's gonna have to be awesome for someone else at this point in his life, because he got some stuff he got to get together. The man that I'm with today, a lot of women would say, "Oh my God, he's horrible," because of the lifestyle that he chooses to lead. However, I accept that lifestyle,
right?
And I am literally spoiled rotten. Literally, like I tell people when I'm around this man, I don't even sit on my own ass. Like, this man holds me like I'm a damn infant. Like, when I'm thirsty, he is putting a cup up to my mouth and drink. Like, when I'm hungry, yes, when I'm hungry, he's putting food to my mouth and eat. Like, literally, I don't have to lift my arms for nothing.
And that's also a good thing, if he believes in the pie life and he's treating you like that.
Oh, I am treated like his everything. Like, I
let he has respect and boundaries even within that type of lifestyle. So it's not like just no do all.
No, because I'm his woman.
Right.
And the thing is,
and still that respect there.
Being that I'm his woman, I'm not saying that those other women are not treated with respect. Right. Because when we're at parties, he is very respectful to any woman that he meets. He's a natural gentleman. And a lot of times ladies will get caught up in their chivalry, because he's such a gentleman. But as far as us in our personal life and our everyday life, I literally don't have to do anything if I don't want to. Anything that I do is because I want to do it. Other than that, down to cooking, down to whatever, he's calling, "What do you want me to cook for you? What do you want?" Like, he's just a very compassionate, caring man. So you don't see a lot of women run into men like that, but the downfall would be because he is a man in a poly life. And a lot of women are like, "I don't care how good he is, I don't want to share."
Right.
And my thing is, I don't mind sharing as long as he's good to me. And then you have some
that lie like that in, like they can deal with it. Then as soon as they get around it, like a whole nother different story.
Well, people do that all the time. Right. They think that they can handle it up until it's put in their face, and it is a hard pill to swallow.
Right.
But for me, I understand. I'm very secure in our relationship. He makes sure that all of my needs are met, so I don't feel intimidated or anything like In other words, when we're around I know my place. I know we came here together. I know we're gonna leave together. Like I know who I am.
Right. All right.
Thank you.
No, well, I'm fine. Thank you.
I'm listening.
Okay, well, I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up now. I think that covers pretty much everything.
got
I
everything.
will say, as my one more last note, like I say, you were happy speaking about your new boo right now.
I'm very happy.
Like even now, like you have a glow with you. Like you look like refresh your throat. You look fresh. You look glowing. Like you have like this happiness with or like aura around you.
I am very happy.
And like I wish expansion on your business always. And like everything seems to be good. Everything Sharonda, huh?
Yeah, everything is everything. I ain't complaining about nothing because what I know is it could all be so different if things could be different. So I have a good life. I don't have a complaint about anything at all.
Right.
And even when it comes down to my ex, I wish him just great success in everything that he does. I do.
Right, that's a good way to end. Be positive about all things. Don't let nothing negative control you or anything like that. And so I guess I ask one more time: is there any last things you want to get off your mind, or that's good? Or
I answered all of your questions.
all right, okay.
Whatever I told you I'm an open book. Whatever you want to know, don't be afraid to ask it because I'm gonna answer.
Well, look, I got all my questions answered.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
So.
So Miss Sharonda Parker, you can follow her on Facebook at Sharonda Midnight, right?
No, Sharonda Parker. I'm keeping my name, y'all. Let me
Okay, so
just
she's
say
doing
that.
Tina Turner look. She worked
I
hard
have
for her
worked
last
hard
name.
for my name. It is branded. Everything is under Sharonda Parker. Sharonda Parker will exist, and even if Daddy changes my name, we will probably have to go into some just Sharonda type shit. I don't know, but as of right now, it is Sharonda Parker.
Okay, that's on Facebook. Instagram is
Only one PPG.
Only one PPG.
Twitter
on
is
Instagram.
only one PPG, even though I'm not on Twitter often. I keep saying I'm gonna get on Twitter, but it's only one PPG on Twitter, only one PPG on Instagram. Sharonda Parker on Facebook, Sharonda McKnight on Facebook. So I have two Facebooks.
Okay, and also YouTube is Sharonda Parker as
Sharonda
well.
Parker on YouTube.
And okay, and like she has like relationship videos and like she actually demos her sex toys and everything on her
reviews,
YouTube.
everything.
So most definitely subscribe and watch on YouTube, Sharonda Parker.
And thank you for coming all the way from Memphis to do this interview. This is major.
Look, this is something brand new for me too. So look, we all try. I'm trying to stand too. So
Okay.
But I do appreciate you for actually sitting down and talking with me though.
Okay.
So look, I appreciate that much. And if nothing else we have to say,
All right,
we out
y'all.
of here. Episode 9, y'all.